Somebody wants to play a game. I'll play a game. I am about halfway through my second glass of wine. I had Nitsit tonight too. It was delicious. I don't know if you've ever had Nitsit. It's the San Francisco treat. They're amazing. It's and wine. I tell you what. All right. And you need wine to deal with someone this dumb. The context is, I read his crap, and I'm like, thanks for the text wall of nothing. I saw the News Now Houston video. It was useless. You should feel bad. Then he comes back with, oh, so you've reviewed the information? No, of course not. All right. All right. So let's see if my assessment, thanks for the text wall of nothing, is accurate. Are we ready to play?
Would you like to play a game?
Sometimes freedom or the exercising of it is annoying, especially to those who don't fully appreciate it. I think everybody fully appreciates freedom. I think most people don't fully appreciate it when other people use their freedom to be jackasses. Like, I fully support your right to freedom of expression. I still think you're a jackass. I don't put a whole lot of weight in any lawyer's argument, as they all belong to the same club. It's called the Lawyers Club. Who grants all lawyers permission to practice? Well, that's a stupid question. No single entity grants all lawyers permission to practice. Generally speaking, one would say that it is a state government. And I say state meaning the actual definition of state. So the United States is a union of states, and each state grants lawyers the right to practice in that state. But then the United States itself also grants lawyers certain rights, like the military JAGs, and if you are licensed to practice in D.C., that would be the federal government licensing you. And other states outside of the United States, like Mexico and Canada and England and all those other fun places, will also license attorneys to practice. Who do they apply to or beg for this privilege? It's another tough question because, again, it would depend on the jurisdiction whether they're attempting to practice law in. I'm going to assume, I'm just going to use me as an example. I applied to, I didn't beg anybody for the privilege. I applied to the State Bar of California. I had completed the prerequisite educational requirements. I took the 2 required tests. I submitted my request and paid for a lot of money, about 400 and some odd bucks, for a background check, as well as paying for, oh no, live scan was included. Yeah, I got fingerprinted and everything, so God help me if I ever commit a crime. Paid for and passed the background checks, and then I paid my 430 or 460 bucks, whatever it was, to practice law for the year, my yearly dues. And I have to, of course, continue and keep up with my ongoing legal education. I didn't beg anybody for it. And it's just like real estate brokers or doctors or taxi drivers. I mean, there's lots of people who need licenses. Businesses need business license. So if you want to be like a plumber, you need a contractor's license or whatever. It's not like lawyers are that much. We're not special. We need a license to practice our profession. It's pretty common. But I guess that this doofus is like a cashier at a convenience store or something. He thinks that most people don't need licenses to do their jobs. to help you understand this better, to help you understand better, to help me understand what better? That you're stupid? Oh, no, I don't need help with that, but we'll go for it. There are many cases of people in the sciences, who have questioned the Darwinian theory. You mean the theory of evolution? Because it's not completely different, but it's pretty different from what Darwin originally came up with. I mean, he was really close, considering all things considered, but he didn't know anything about DNA or all that fun stuff. So I mean, it's great that he got as close as he did, but we've learned a lot since then, and yeah, I find that a very particular class of people call it the Darwinian theory, and they're typically very uneducated or at least ignorant as to the biological sciences. I mean, they may have like theological degrees. I have a master's in theology. I have a doctorate in theology. I know all about theories. No. As they discovered, a square peg, the theory is tried to put in a round hole. Yeah, so no, that's not the way it works. See, you're showing how ignorant you are. In the theory of evolution, if someone comes up with a square peg, then they will modify the theory to account for that new bit of data. That's how science works. You're a dummy and you don't understand how science works. I'm not even a scientist, and I know I know at least that much about how science works. Many of them, citation needed, lose their financial compensation through loss of job, funding, etc. for speaking up or out of fear of those consequences. Shut up. Yeah, no. Again, if a scientist could disprove evolution, then that scientist, A, would win a Nobel Prize, B, would get paid a lot of money and probably publish a book or more, which would sell like hotcakes, and C, would be the darling of the creationist community and would get paid tons of money to speak at churches and synagogues and what do they call those ones for Islam? I don't know, whatever. Mosques. Thank you. Whoever just told me mosques. So yeah, all the religious people who need creationism to justify their beliefs, then they would love anybody who could disprove evolution. And the fact that it hasn't happened is telling. If a defense attorney, or even a prosecuting attorney, or a judge, or anyone else in the system tries to separate law from legislation and statutes, they will not have their license for long. Yeah, they would not have their license for long because they would be crazy, and crazy people can't practice law. You have a duty of competence, and you also are subject to malpractice lawsuits. So you definitely don't want to say something as stupid and ignorant as the law is different than legislation and statutes if you want to practice law. Because legislation and statutes are law. So that's great. I'm learning so much from you. But all statutes and legislative writ is contract law. No, it's not. You're retarded. Contract law is contract law. Contract law is like the whatever UCC codes that a state has implemented or whatever kind of statutory contract provisions they have. Like I learned today that California doesn't have unjust enrichment. They just do everything under restitution. So that's cool. Although they have a lot of cases that talk about unjust enrichment. Riddle me that. But yeah, so no, not everything is contract law. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And both parties must agree to all the conditions. Nope, 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 nope. All the people who were in jail, they didn't agree to go there. They are there because they violated the law without signing any contract. And neither side can be coerced or forced to participate. Tell that to the people who are in jail, because they are not there of their own free will. Men with guns will shoot them. They don't have a choice. Ask Bao if he's participating of his own free will. Ask James Freeman if he's participating of his own free will. They don't like the system. They don't want to be a part of the system. But men with guns will enforce the system upon them. It is why the driver's license must be applied for, or in legal terms, begged for from the state. Begged for from the state is not a legal term. And the reason why a driver's license must be applied for is because a driver's license is a privilege, not a right. A driver's license is a creature of statute. It is a matter of law. It is illegal to drive without a driver's license. And we've seen a whole lot of sovereign citizens get thrown in jail or get tickets. Harvey Denson, he gets tickets for driving without a license. I'm not engaged in commerce. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Your defense attorney is turning a blind eye to this, giving the same weight to statutes as he. They is plural. The defense attorney, Mr. Prickett, is a he. Well, I shouldn't assume what was it, Greg Prickett? I shouldn't assume Prickett's gender, but I'm going to. It's a he. So your defense attorney is turning a blind eye to this, giving the same weight to the statutes as he does to law in order to continue to practice law. Yes. He does it in order to continue to practice law, because you have to be sane to practice law. He's not insane. You owe a duty of competence to your clients. You cannot practice law if you are insane. Right now your head is spinning trying to come up with an argument to defuse all my statements. Woo, it's spinning. This has been so hard so far, including many strawmen. I will set your strawmen on fire in advance. Yeah, no, you won't, but this will be stupid. I mean, fun. This will be fun. If you respond, the only question I have for you, which is a series of similar questions with the same answer. The only question I have for you is a series of questions. That's retarded. You're saying stupid things. You should feel bad. How much taxes do the Amish pay? It would depend on their income or the size of the property they own. Because Amish don't pay Social Security tax or Medicare tax because they opt out of it. And they won a court case to get that. But they still pay state and federal taxes. And they still pay sales taxes. And they still pay property taxes. So, yeah. You're dumb. How much do they pay for their driver's license? The exact same thing everybody else pays. If they have one, they probably don't have one because they don't drive cars. So I didn't even look to see how much driver's licenses cost, but they don't drive cars because it's a stupid question. You're asking stupid questions because you're a stupid person. How much do they pay to register their conveyances? They don't drive motor vehicles. They pay exactly the same thing that everybody else does. To register a vehicle that is moved solely by human or animal power. Have I made my point yet? How much do they pay for insurance for those conveyances? Well, considering that you only have to pay for insurance on a motor vehicle, I'm sure they would pay whatever everybody else pays who wants to buy insurance on a horse-drawn carriage or wagon. I don't know how much that costs. I'm sure someone is willing to sell it to them. But your question is malformed. I think you wanted to ask, do the Amish have to pay, or do the Amish have to purchase insurance for those conveyances? And that would be a better form question, because then you'd still get the no answer you're looking for, but you're stupid. In case you don't know or feel you can't answer honestly, I will help you. Ooh, will you? The answer is 0. I think we established that the answer was not 0. They do pay taxes, and they pay for registration, the same thing everybody else does. They don't buy driver's license, so they don't pay anything for it. Well, the answer to the question, how much do they pay for driver's license, is empty set, because they don't have driver's license, so they don't pay for them. Like, how much did you pay for that spaceship? Well, you didn't pay for the spaceship. You don't own the spaceship. You didn't pay anything for it. You don't have it. It's dumb. And however much they pay for insurance for their horse-drawn buggy would be however much somebody charges them and they're willing to pay. It's not like you get insurance for free on a horse-drawn buggy. You don't have to buy insurance on it in order to operate it, but insurance isn't free. And yet they use the highways and byways just like everybody else. Yeah, so, all right. So the vehicle taxes, I don't know in Pennsylvania if vehicle taxes go towards the roads. In California, gas taxes go towards roads, theoretically. And then the federal government matches funds to a certain amount. But yeah, you can like a street where a pedestrian is allowed to be on it, you can use. Otherwise, you have to use the side of the street, like a sidewalk or something. But you don't have to pay any taxes to access the sidewalk. It's if you want to operate a vehicle on it, you have to pay to operate the vehicle. You don't pay to use the highway and byway unless it's like a toll road or something like that. You're paying to use the vehicle on it. It's a distinction. Like, theoretically, if all the vehicles went away and they're like, well, I guess since there's no vehicles, anybody could just use the roads however they want. We're not reserving these lanes for vehicles. If you think there's a difference between horsepower and horsepower, you don't understand the freedom of movement rights. I understand the freedom of movement rights. The Fourth Amendment right to travel is an implied right, and it is the right to travel between states. States cannot keep you from leaving them or going into them. They can't prevent you from traveling from one state to another. There's no implied right that you get to use a particular kind of vehicle to do it. There's no constitutional right that you could fly an airplane or drive a car, so you're retarded. The fact that any lawyer or judge doesn't understand this, or if they do, don't go along with it, is just more reason to not trust them. The fact that people disagree with you means that they're wrong. Really? No. Society says you're stupid and you're wrong. Once you get society to agree that everybody should be able to travel without a driver's license, then you'll be able to travel without a driver's license. Until then, armed men with guns will enforce their will upon you. I saw the Mexican Padilla video where there is no signage posted. Doesn't have to be. Notice can be oral or written in Texas. And you can clearly hear that he has permission to enter the area. He isn't trespassing until he receives notice that he is trespassed. When she says you can go in the area, he's not trespassing when he enters the area. Once Salvaggio says you have to leave, then he's trespassing and he needs to leave. I don't understand why people are so stupid they can't comprehend that. It doesn't matter what the chief said or tried to do, as those two other issues derail his efforts. No, actually, you're wrong. You're actually wrong. There is no requirement in the Texas Penal Code that trespassing have signs posted. Notice can be oral or written. 30.05 specifically states notice may be oral or written. Oral means verbal. By the arguments presented, the chief could have demanded he strip naked and by not complying, be arrested. No, that's stupid. You're dumb. That's a dumb argument. There isn't. The chief had the right to make him leave, but the chief doesn't have the right to make him strip. That's 30.05 says that you can be trespassed, not that you can be forced to strip. You're retarded. Doesn't mean it is lawful or legal. Well, stripping is not lawful nor legal. Making him strip just by, I mean, like, I guess they could like make him strip for like the search and jail or whatever. But the trespass was lawful and legal. Making him strip would, in that front room there, would not be lawful or legal. Sadly, it doesn't mean he won't get railroaded as power corrupts. He's not going to get railroaded. He's going to get found guilty of trespass. Probably. Again, it all depends on whether or not the defense attorney can convince the jury, if he gets a jury, or the judge if he doesn't, that Padilla was attempting to leave. Because as long as he was moving to leave, then he should be good. Because you don't have to like instantly teleport out as soon as you're trespassed. You just have to like depart. You have to like try to leave. You have to walk towards the exit. And from what I have witnessed, from what you've witnessed,
well, if you've witnessed it.
Corruption is a normality in Leon Valley. You live in Leon Valley. No, you don't. No. You're a moron. Also, have you seen the News Now Houston video of the evidence he uncovered? Yeah, but I didn't see any evidence in it. And you didn't either. You really should go watch it before you waste another single ounce of credibility defending this corruption. Okay, so now we've gone over it. Was it a text wall of nothing? Absolutely it was. And I also saw the News Now video. It was useless. And this guy should feel bad. So let's read his rebuttal. Oh, so you've reviewed this information? No, of course not. Joke's on you, buddy. I even pulled up sources, which you didn't bother to give because you're retarded. Yeah, sorry for the more than 5-second soundbite. It wasn't a soundbite, you moron. They are written words. Sound is things you hear. Written words are things you read. One goes in your ear hole. The other one goes in your eyeball. I am also sorry that this is the best you could respond with. It's not, as is evidenced by this. I could have responded more. I didn't, and I still don't think you're worth it. But I'm sure that somebody's going to be like, oh, this was funny or something. I don't know. Maybe they'll be entertained by it. Maybe they won't. But either way, you're dumb. But notice you failed even with that, as I put conditions on the response. I don't care about your conditions. I don't play by your rules because you're dumb and you don't play by mine. So why would I play by yours? And you were unable to comprehend. No, I understood. I didn't care. There's a difference. I was only interested in those questions answered. No, you weren't, and I could prove it. The only question I have for you, which is a series of questions with the same answer? The only question is questions. You're retarded. Once again, sorry I confused you. You didn't confuse me, you knuckle-dragging moron. You did not confuse me. You irritated me a little bit, but that's about it. I guess you really didn't even irritate me. I mean, I found it kind of entertaining to be like, I don't know. Because I didn't. I'm like, how much taxes do the Amish pay? And then I found they didn't pay any Medicare or Social Security. I'm like, well, that's interesting. But then they paid the other stuff, so You know what? Well, oh god, this is a long video anyway, so screw it. So it costs $30.50 for 4 years for an Amish person to get a 4-year permit for 4-year driver's license, or $20 for 2 years if they're 65 and older. That's how much it costs. Oh, but they don't have a Social Security card. Oh, they can't get a driver's license. And they don't have utility bills. Yeah, so they can't. They literally can't get driver's licenses. Yeah. Learn something new every day. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.